Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video here. So I have a Q&A here that I want to do. I'm doing a Discord Q&A. So first of all, thank you for those that posted questions and stuff. There's actually, I don't have a lot of time to wait around, so I gave it about 20 minutes, half an hour or so. And so we do have some questions here. So I want to get into some of this because some of them are actually pretty interesting. And again, if you do want to take part in these Q&As, definitely go follow us on the Discord. The link for that is down below. It's a huge Walking Dead community. I mean, it's been very active as of late because The Walking Dead is returning. There's several channels there to discuss things. I mean, there's a lot of games that you can play in there. There's, sometimes we have movie nights. You can choose your community if you want to be a part of Alexandria, the Hilltop. You have your own house to discuss things with other fellow house members. And there's also a Q&A section there as well, where whenever I do need questions, I'll sort of tag the people. And again, you have to choose your role there, but like once you join, it kind of leads you through the steps. But there's a role, and it's basically a role is like a position that you kind of pick. You can choose several of them, but there's a Q&A role where if you pick that and you have that a part of your own or your own account, then like whenever I tag at Q&A, everyone with that role will get notified that I'm asking for questions. And then, you guys can post all of your questions there. So yeah, I wanted to focus more specifically on episodes like 9 and 10 here, just because like episodes 9 and 10 are definitely really, I think obviously later episodes are going to be pretty insane. Like obviously there's a direction that they're going in that seems a little crazy, but I will say, I think as of now, episodes 9 and 10 have a lot of intrigue from me because, episode 10 is basically going to be a several week time jump where we see our characters adapting or how they have adapted to the Commonwealth and that lifestyle, living normally for a few weeks. And episode 9 is literally the end to the arc that we've been on for a very long time. I would say it's actually the end to the current Whisper War storyline, because like I mentioned this in my last video, but we've been sort of still connected to that a little bit, because once they defeated Alpha and all that, they basically, Maggie showed up and they went back to Alexandria to rebuild, and then they sort of couldn't anymore, right? They don't have the resources, they have to go elsewhere, and the Whisperers sort of took everything else elsewhere, and things in general over 10 years have just kind of dried up, right? So now they're trying to look for resources to survive, and it's just they can't find anything. Literally, they just can't. And so that's why some of them went to, to Meridian. And so, yeah, episode 9, like I said, is going to be a really big episode because, Leah is most likely going to die in that episode. There could be some other big deaths, and so that's why I'm actually really excited for episode 9, because it's kind of the end of the last 8 episodes, but also the end, really, I guess, to this current storyline that's sort of been going on since Rick's departure. So of course, before we go any further, if you are new to the channel, make sure to be a subscriber if you want to get more Walking Dead content like this. Again, the show's returning very soon. I'm really excited to actually get going with all of that. But let's get into the first question here. So if the New Frontier is to come into the show and Negan joins them, do you think possibly Negan finds out our characters are in trouble with the Commonwealth and will show them that the New Frontier are willing to help? Sorry, kind of long. Because say Daryl and Aaron, maybe even Maggie, aren't doing good in the Commonwealth, where would they go besides rebuilding the Hilltop or Oceanside, unless they have them on the run from Mercer and Commonwealth soldiers? Yeah, I really like the New Frontier idea. It seems really wild right now, but I really like the idea of introducing that into the story. I think The Walking Dead, there's been little jolts of excitement here and there. Like, honestly, there has been, like the running walkers thing is really exciting for the future. Once we actually get a show with those walkers, once they actually do that, it's going to be a lot of fun. Man, it's going to be so exciting. And so I'm really looking forward to that. I hope they don't take too long with that, because eventually it's going to feel really old once they start to do it, right? Like, you don't want to do that in like 5-6 years from now, and then people are just like, I don't really care. That happened 5-6 years ago. Like, if it doesn't happen this year, fine. But I think in 2023 to 2024, you got to do something with that. And if they keep pushing it off for like years and years and years, then I think people are just going to get frustrated. And again, you have those same complaints about it going stale. And I think that you could easily avoid that by just giving us something in the next 2 years or something like that. You really can't wait too long with things like that. I get that that was a tease for the future, but that is something that post Walking Dead, our characters are going to be dealing with. The Walking Dead's ending this year. So I just think, you know what I mean? And in terms of the New Frontier, that is also something that is going to be very exciting, because if that is the group and Negan has joined the New Frontier, then it's going to be crazy, because like that confirms Clementine is a part of this universe. She's out there somewhere, right? And so they can do a spin-off on that character in the future, which obviously is going to be a huge jolt to the entire franchise. People are going to be so excited, so hyped. So many people who used to watch The Walking Dead are going to come and tune into this. And I saw a couple comments saying that, like, well, not everybody knows who Clementine is. And you're right about that. Not everybody knows, but I think most people know. Like, most people know of those games. Like, the Telltale games were so big, like, what was that, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago? They were so big, and Clementine is a fan favorite easily, like a huge fan favorite. I think it makes perfect sense, and if it is the new frontier, oh man, I think it's going to be really big. Q&A, do you think Gracie will take Andrea's comic book death? I mean, if that does happen, obviously, I could totally see a scene like that happening, because we haven't really had that really happen yet, right? If you actually think about it, we haven't had a scene where somebody, was holding the person that they loved, and because they were dying because they were bit. And I think it makes sense that that could happen with Gracie. She gets bit, and then we have a scene there where Aaron is just sort of holding Gracie because she got bit. And oh my god, I can't even go there in my mind. It's so weird, honestly. Like, after becoming a dad, it's just any little situation like that where a kid is in a situation like that, it hurts too much now. It sucks, because like before that, I'd hear about that, and I knew it was sad, but I just never got the impact of it. But I think it's because like you kind of place your kids in those situations, and then you think, well, like, what if I was Aaron? And then you just it's just super heartbreaking and stressful to even think about. But I think a moment like that for the franchise, I think is almost needed at this point. It's sad to say, but like, we need some more iconic moments happening, especially this season, because nothing really happened in season 10. Season 9, yes, definitely. Season 9, like, iconic moments happened for sure. There was Rick's departure, there was the Whisperers showing up, and then there was the Whisperer Pike scene at the end. Crazy deaths happened there. And I think you needed that. You needed those shocking moments, and they had to have felt worth it. Like that's the thing. Like, do I always need big deaths to enjoy a story? No, you definitely don't. But you do need to have those big deaths. If you're a writer, you do need to come up with ways to kill off this character, especially if they're starting to get kind of stale. And also just in general, to be like, you know what, I really want to build to this. I think it could be a really big moment for our other characters, and it's going to advance their story so much more. And so you slowly work up to this. And I think for Aaron, if he lost Gracie, man, that's a scary situation to be in. I would not want to be around Aaron, right? And I think it's the final season, so I think we need something big like this. And honestly, it would feel very much like the last 8 episodes were kind of worth the wait, right? Because if Leah dies, it's like, that's sad, but like, she was just introduced, so like, who really cares, right? Alden, if he dies, that's going to be hard. That's definitely going to be a sad one for sure, but he's not a main character. He's not a big character, or at least if he dies, it's not going to be too heartbreaking to anyone else other than Aaron, right? Or not Aaron, but Maggie. Maggie's going to be destroyed over it. And besides that, if you end with those 2 deaths, I think it depends on how they do it, but like, it could be all right, but I just think if Gracie's in there and there's that added element to what Aaron's actually going to go through, it's going to be, oh man, because it's not just him that's going to be affected by that. It is everybody else. It's Judith, it's all the adults. It's like Daryl and all of them all of them witnessing what is happening with Aaron right now. That's insane. Q&A, do you think if the new frontier, or do you think the new frontier will show up in episode 9 or 10? I think it could happen in 10. It really depends on what they want to do with some of the characters, though. I think it could happen in 10. But again, it really depends on sort of the flow for everything, just because like, that might be more of an episode 11 thing. Like, I think episode 10 could be more focused on characters like Daryl and Carol and Maggie, and just what they're going through, at the Commonwealth, or if they're not at the Commonwealth. I think Negan's storyline, because I do believe he's probably going to be exiled, he'll probably just leave and he'll join this new group, I think could be focused on more and just like a random episode, in episode 11, I think. So I don't know if it'll be in 9 and 10. I think it's definitely not 9 for sure. But in 10, there's a chance, but we'll have to wait and see. That's something that I guess we'll be watching on, February 20th? Q&A, which death could be the saddest one of episode 9? Possibly if it actually happened. Like Gracie or Alden, since both... Well, I guess I kind of touched on this a little bit. Definitely, for sure, Gracie. They would be... it's going to be heartbreaking. It's going to be something that definitely, I think our characters are going to be affected by for for a while. And but I think it's something that obviously the show has done before. You know, you think of like Lizzie and Mika. It's not that crazy, you know. And I think the Lizzie and Mika scene was a scene that, when you look back on, was probably one of the best scenes in The Walking Dead, period, right? The most absolutely just crazy, shocking, just like jumping out of your seat, freaking out scene. Because like Lizzie was crazy. She killed Mika, and then Judith was right there, and Carol and Tyrese are just frozen, and they're like, holy shit, what do we do? Like, what the hell just happened? And somehow we have to stop her here. And then just the way Carol sort of just like calmed her down, saying like, well, you know what? She's just a baby. Like we'll just wait a second. Like maybe we'll do it, but we'll just wait a little bit, right? Like it would make no sense to do it right now, because if she turns to a walker, she's just going to be a little baby walker. So, you know, she should grow a little bit bigger. I can't remember exactly what she said, but it was basically like she was trying to reason with someone that was so crazy. And again, just a really crazy scene, really crazy, powerful, heartbreaking, and it had everything. And so I think, you know, if Gracie did die, if Alden did go through something like that, man, it would be as shocking as like Andrea's death, honestly, or not, maybe not as shocking, but as heartbreaking, especially to see Ross Marquand's acting in that scene. I think it would be super powerful, because it would affect all the characters, and it would actually do so much for Aaron in the future, because now where is that character going, right? And yeah, I think that'd be really cool. Not even that, he's comic Rick. Like, to me, Aaron is comic Rick right now. He has the arm, he has the overall look. It makes sense to sort of do that same shot, maybe, you know. There's that shot of Rick and Andrea, you know, Andrea's bitch, she's dying, and so Rick's just like, you know, all heartbroken, whatever. It would be cool to get a shot like that of Aaron and Gracie. Oh man, different context because it's father and daughter, but still, I think more heartbreaking. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you guys for posting all of your questions. Again, if you want to join the Discord and take part in these Q&As, definitely go follow the Discord. The link is down below. The server name is Appetite for the Dead. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Make sure to be a subscriber if you want more Walking Dead content like this, and I'll see you guys in the next one.